Dear class 10, we'll start a new chapter, and that is chapter number 8, the circulatory system. Okay, the circulatory system, as you all know, that circulatory system is a system responsible for transporting the different things to and from the different parts of the body. All right, consisting of heart and the blood vessels. And what? The blood vessels. All right. So these blood vessels are of three types. They are arteries, veins, and capillaries. All right. And one of the important thing that you find in the system is the circulating fluids. Okay, circulating fluids, which are mainly of three types. They are blood, okay, tissue fluid, and lymph. All right, lymph. So that is all in almost all organisms. There are circulating fluids which carry the things from one region to other regions. Okay, so in case of human beings, we have three such circulating fluids, which are blood, tissue fluid, and lymph. So blood, as you know, it is found there in heart. All right, then in all the blood vessels like arteries, veins, and capillaries. All right, and the tissue fluid is found between the cells in organs. Okay, between the cells in organs. So there you find the tissue fluid. All right, then between cells in organs, then lymph you find in lymph vessels. All right, then lymphatic system, okay, such as what you find is such as your tonsils. Okay, here you find the tonsils and spleen. Okay, you are in the spleen, tonsils, okay, spleen. So these are the regions where this lymph is found. So these are the circulating fluids. So from this, what you have understood is the circulatory system is a system consisting of the heart, blood vessels like arteries, veins, and capillaries, and most importantly, circulating fluids such as blood, tissue fluid, and lymph. Okay, so this is your circulatory system, and as I've told you, the function of the circulatory system is to transport the different things, okay, from one region to other regions. Okay, that means to and from the different parts of the body. Okay, that is circulatory system. Okay, so what is the need of circulatory system? Let me repeat once again, point wise, though it is not that important according to your syllabus, but even though, let me tell you the different why circulatory system, what is the need of circulatory system. Okay, let me tell you once again. All right, so see, we digest the different things. Okay, we eat so many things there, and they all need to be digested in the digestive system, especially in the small intestine. Those things get digested, and after the digestion they are absorbed. So after absorbing, the digested food materials need to be taken to the different parts of the body, especially to every cell of the body. So carrying them from the digestive system to those cells is done by the circulatory system itself. That means the blood will carry them to the cells. Okay. Secondly, respiratory gases. You see, respiratory gases, we take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. We take the air, okay, through our nose, and it goes into the lungs, from which oxygen is picked up and taken to the cells where the respiration takes place. So after respiration, carbon dioxide is formed. So that carbon dioxide is again collected by the blood and is brought back to the lungs, and from lungs it is given out. Okay, so this transportation of the respiratory gases, that is oxygen, carbon dioxide, is also done by this circulatory system itself. Okay, then other thing is that you see like many such waste products are there in the body. After the use of some things, some waste are produced. Okay, like you see excess water, all right, then excess salt, all right, nitrogenous waste like urea. So they are all to be thrown out of the body by means of the excretory system. All right, so from the different parts of the body, the collection of these waste products is done by the circulatory system itself, or the blood itself, or the limb itself, and taken to the excretory organs, which throw them out of the body. Okay, so collecting all those things into the circulatory system or into the excretory organs is done by the circulatory system itself. Okay, remember here, circulatory system is connected with other systems also, like excretory system, all right, then respiratory system, all right, digestive system, so like that. Then you see hormones. As we all know that hormones are produced by the endocrine glands. So from the site of its secretion, that means from the place where those hormones are secreted, is taken to the different regions by means of the circulatory system itself. That means by means of blood itself, and taken to the target places where those hormones can execute its functions. So collecting all those things from their region to the different region, okay, carrying them from one place to the other place, is done by your circulatory system. That means circulatory system is a very important system which transports all those materials in the body from one region to the other regions, from one region to the other target regions. Okay, this is what we understand as your circulatory system. As I've told you, is consisting of mainly three parts. There are mainly three components. They are heart, your blood vessels, and circulating fluids. Okay, this is your circulatory systems. All right, now we'll go directly into the composition of blood. We'll go directly into the composition of blood. Composition of blood. Composition of blood. Composition of blood. See, actually, as per syllabus, we have from composition of blood onwards in this chapter. What I've told you is the basic idea about circulatory system that you have to understand. Now, as per syllabus, we have to go ahead from this portion, composition of blood, of this chapter. Okay, and see here, composition of blood. So blood is mainly composed of two things. It's mainly composed of two things. They are plasma and cellular components, you can say. All right, so blood is composed of mainly two components. They are plasma and cellular components. All right, so your plasma is a fluid part. Plasma is a fluid part which plasma is a that your fluid part which you find about 55 to 60% in the blood. Okay, fluid part found how much? 55 to 60% of your blood. That means 55 to 60% of blood is composed of your plasma. Fluid portion of the blood is called plasma, which is found how much? 55 to 60% in the blood. That means 55 to 60% of blood is composed of plasma. Okay, then rest is your cellular component, which includes your RBC, WBC and platelets. Now what? Platelets, RBC, WBC and platelets. Okay, which is how much? 45% to 40% to 45%. 40% to 45% you find the cellular components in the composition of blood. Okay, see, this much is your cellular components. Okay, plasma and cellular components. Plasma, as I told you, 55 to 60% of blood, and 40 to 45% you find the cellular components, which includes the three different kinds of cells. They are RBC. They are RBC, which are also called erythrocytes. RBC, red blood cells, are also named as erythrocytes. Please remember the alternative name also, erythrocytes. WBC, white blood cells, which are also termed as leukocytes. And the last one, platelets, are also termed as thrombocytes. So these are the three different kinds of blood cells you find in the composition of blood. Alright, RBC, WBC, platelets. RBC is also named as erythrocytes, WBC is also named as leukocytes, and third one is your platelets, which are also named as thrombocytes. Now let's talk about plasma. Okay, which is a liquid or a fluid portion of blood. Alright, so it is a light yellow colored alkaline substance. Okay, a light yellow colored alkaline liquid substance. Okay, a light yellow colored alkaline liquid substance. Alright, and it also consists of many things there. Okay, it consists of many things there like water. Alright, then you find protein. Okay, so like water, protein, inorganic salts, something like that. Water, you find 92%. Okay, 92% water you find in the composition of plasma. Okay, protein you find 7 to 8%. Protein 7 to 8%. All right, then inorganic salts. Okay, like you find sodium chloride. All right, sodium bicarbonate. So this is 1%. Okay, 1%. Then beside this there are other substances also. Other substances in trace. That means very little amount of other substances are also found. So what are the other substances there? What else come under other substances? You find glucose. Okay, glucose. All right, then you find amino acids. Okay, the protein like fibrinogen. fibrinogen. Okay, glucose, amino acids, fibrinogen. All right. Now hormones, urea, etc. Hormones, okay, urea, etc. So these are the other substances that you find in the composition of plasma, which you find in very minute quantity. Alright, see here, glucose, amino acids, fibrinogen. See, fibrinogen is a new term maybe for you. But fibrinogen is a kind of protein there, kind of protein which you find in plasma. So if the fibrinogen is removed from plasma, then that condition of plasma, that state of plasma is called serum. It's called what? Serum. S-E-R-U-M, serum. What is serum? Serum means, you see, plasma minus fibrinogen. That means when fibrinogen is removed from plasma, or the fibrinogen has been removed from plasma, that condition of plasma, okay, that condition of plasma is called serum. That means plasma minus fibrinogen. When there is no fibrinogen there in the plasma, that condition or that state of the plasma is called serum. Alright, that is your serum. So this is all about your plasma. Please go through it. In the book also mentioned, okay, a light yellow colored alkaline liquid substance consisting of water, protein, and all those whichever are there, okay, are given there in the book also, percentage wise, how much are they present is all given there. So this is all about your plasma. Now let's talk about the cellular components. Okay, cellular components. Okay, cellular components, I was telling you, RBC, WBC, and platelets. What? Platelets. Alright? RBC, WBC, and platelets. Okay, let us talk about RBC first now. What is RBC? What are the properties of RBC? I was telling you, RBC are also known as erythrocytes. Alright? Erythrocytes. E-R-Y-T-H-R-O-C-Y-T-E-S. Erythrocytes. Okay? So now let us see the characteristics of erythrocytes. We'll go, one by one. WBC, platelets are also there. First, let us talk about the properties of RBC, red blood cells. So RBC are minute biconcave disc-like structures. So I'll show you from the book itself. So rather than writing there on the board, I'll show you from the book itself, because I'm very much sure that you are there in the there with the wide open book there with you. See here, this is the disc-like biconcave, okay, minute biconcave disc-like structure which are shown here on page number 93. So this is the structure of your RBC, the shape of RBC, biconcave disc-like structure. Okay, this RBC, and diameter wise it is 7 micron. Okay, 7 micron, which is symbolically represented like this. Okay, micron. So 7 micron in its diameter is so minute, 7 micron in diameter. So what is micron then? What is the relation of micron with millimeter? That means 1 micron equals 100th millimeter. Okay, 1 micron means 1 upon 1000, not 100, sorry, 1000 millimeter. 1 upon 1000 millimeter is equal to 1 micron. That small it is, that minute it is. Okay, diameter wise it is 7 micron. Alright, then small size and this biconcavities which you see out here, biconcavities and small size of RBC and biconcavities on the either side of RBC, okay, provide them the large surface area to absorb oxygen sufficiently. To absorb what? Oxygen sufficiently, because this RBC contains a kind of chemical constituent out there, which is hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin is responsible for absorbing oxygen and carrying, collecting or picking up oxygen and carrying it to the different cells. All right, so since it is too small and concavities, okay, biconcavities on either side of RBC provide itself the large surface area to absorb oxygen sufficiently. So once the oxygen is absorbed, the oxygen will be taken to the different cells by hemoglobin present in it. All right, then a small size of this RBC makes it able to pass through the fine capillaries also. It is too small, okay, it is so small, so tiny, which makes it able to pass through the capillaries also, so that it can go to the every cell present in the body, because every cell, whatever number of cell you have, so each and every cell, if it is living, requires oxygen, okay, which is carried by this hemoglobin present in RBC itself. Okay, this is the properties of your RBC. Okay, now in adult human being, in adult human male, okay, about 5 million of RBC is present. Okay, RBC is present in per cubic millimeter of volume of blood. See, in one, suppose there is a small, let us say, container, okay, whose volume is 1 cubic millimeter. Suppose this is your container out here, whose length is 1 millimeter, okay, breadth is 1 millimeter, and height is 1 millimeter. So its volume will be 1 millimeter into 1 millimeter into 1 millimeter, which means 1 cubic millimeter. Suppose the volume of the container is 1 cubic millimeter. So in that the blood is collected. So in that volume of blood there will be 5 million, about 5 million of RBC if the blood sample is taken from the adult human male. That means in adult human male there are 5 million of RBC in every 1 cubic millimeter of the volume of blood. Okay, 5 million means 50 lakhs RBC are present in every 1 cubic millimeter of the volume of the blood. Okay, whereas in female, okay, adult female, there will be 4.5 million. 4.5 million. Okay, 4.5 million RBC, about 4.5 million RBC are present in every 1 cubic millimeter of the volume of blood. Okay, this is the counting of the blood in adult human male and adult human females. Okay, that is there. That's the normal number of the RBC there. Okay, then hemoglobin. So I was talking about hemoglobin out here. Let's talk about hemoglobin now. Hemoglobin So another component, okay, that we have to now talk about is hemoglobin. So what is hemoglobin now? So hemoglobin means a chemical constituent, okay, a chemical constituent of RBC, or you see the respiratory pigment present in RBC or blood. or blood. So see, hemoglobin is a chemical constituent of RBC. It is present in RBC, which is also called a respiratory pigment. Okay, it is also called a respiratory pigment present in the RBC itself. There in erythrocytes itself, there in red blood cell itself, there is a chemical constituent called hemoglobin. Called what? Hemoglobin. The main function of this hemoglobin is to carry the respiratory gases to and from the different parts of the body. Okay, to means, to and from means what you have to understand out here is that, see, from the lungs, the oxygen-rich blood, what do you call it? Oxygen-rich blood. That means oxygenated blood, okay, will carry and will be carried by this hemoglobin. That means oxygen-rich blood. I'm telling you, oxygenated blood. So from oxygenated blood, oxygen only will be picked up by the hemoglobin, okay, and taken to the different cells of the body where it is used for respiration. So after respiration, carbon dioxide will be pumped. So that carbon dioxide is again picked up by that hemoglobin again and is brought back to the lungs from where it is taken out. So see, this function actually is done by hemoglobin present in RBC. Okay, it is formed of is composed of iron and protein. Iron and what? Protein. Okay, iron and protein here. Hemoglobin is composed of, this iron and protein. Alright, what it is formed of? Iron and protein. Iron and protein. So another property of hemoglobin is, hemoglobin combines with oxygen. Okay, that means it has got a strong capacity to combine with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. Okay, it's like this. Hemoglobin combined with oxygen to make oxyhemoglobin. Alright, so once hemoglobin comes in contact with oxygen, it forms a compound called oxyhemoglobin. So in the form of oxyhemoglobin, this oxygen will be taken to the cells, okay, where it is needed for respiration. Alright, then after the respiration, the carbon dioxide is formed, as I have told you before also, and this traces of carbon dioxide now combined with again hemoglobin. Okay, that means this hemoglobin again will combine with CO2. Okay, after the use of oxygen, carbon dioxide is formed. So that carbon dioxide will again combine with hemoglobin to form carbaminohemoglobin. Okay, so another compound is formed which is called carbaminohemoglobin. Okay, so in the form of carbaminohemoglobin, okay, so this carbon dioxide will be taken back to the lungs so that it can be sent out. Okay, so this is how it happens. Hemoglobin will pick up carbon dioxide from the cells after the respiration, and in the form of this carbaminohemoglobin, it will be brought back to the lungs, and from lungs it will be sent out. Okay, now this hemoglobin has again a very strong affinity with carbon monoxide also, okay, to combine with it. Okay, that means your hemoglobin has a strong capacity to combine with carbon monoxide also. Okay, that means hemoglobin has a strong capacity to combine with carbon monoxide to form a compound called carboxyhemoglobin. Carboxyhemoglobin here. So these are the different compounds formed. See here, hemoglobin combined with carbon monoxide to form carboxyhemoglobin. Okay, see here, carboxyhemoglobin is formed when hemoglobin combines with carbon monoxide. And this carboxyhemoglobin, cuts down the capacity of hemoglobin to absorb or to carry oxygen. Okay, so that means when it is formed there in the cells, okay, because of the combination of this hemoglobin and carbon monoxide, then the oxygen carrying capacity of hemoglobin will be cut down. Consequently, the cells will not be having oxygen there, and it may even result in the death of a person or death of a human being, which is called carbon monoxide poisoning, which is also called carbon monoxide poisoning. Sometimes what happens is that if they are in a closed room where there is no ventilation, if people are taking the warmth of the burning furnaces, okay, or glowing furnaces, what may happen is that carbon monoxide coming off those coals or maybe charcoal, whatever it is there in the glowing furnaces, that may go inside and combine with hemoglobin, and this is formed. Consequently, the person will be dying because of this carbon monoxide poisoning. Sometimes it happens also. So these are the properties of your hemoglobin. Alright, so we talked about RBC, its properties, and the important thing that we find there in RBC, that is hemoglobin, that also we just now talked about. Then we go to next is your life and death of RBC. Okay. Life and death of RBC. Life and death of RBC. Okay, so where is actually RBC formed? Okay, there are many reasons. In fact, according to the the age, in different age, it is found in different parts of the body. Okay, though it is found in the bone marrows of the bones, but in different age group is found in different in the bone marrows of different bones of the body. Okay, so let's say in adults. In adults, this actually RBC is formed in the bone marrow of long bone. Okay, in the bone marrow of long bone. In the bone marrow of long bone. Okay, in the bone marrow of long bone, especially ribs. Okay, here the chest, I've got the ribs out here. So in the ribs, okay, bone marrow of ribs. Then there in the breastbone, that you find in the breastbone, which is also called sternum. Even in the hip girdles, okay, there in the hip girdles, the bone marrow hip girdles also, it is formed, especially in the adults. Okay, when you are adult, so it is formed there. Where is in embryo? In embryo is usually formed in the in the liver and spleen. Is formed in the liver and spleen. Okay, these are the two regions mainly where your RBC is formed when the life is there in the embryonic stage. Okay, when we are in embryo, that time the RBC was formed in liver and spleen. All right, so in children, was in children till the age of 5. Okay, till the age of 5 years, till the age of 5 years, it is formed in the bone marrow of all bones. Okay, in the bone marrow of all bones. There are the bone marrows in all the bones. So in all the bones, this your RBC is formed till the age of 5 years. All right, and when matured, okay, when we are matured, that means, when RBC is matured, not we are matured, means when RBC is mature, then it contains no nucleus. Okay, when matured, okay, RBC contains no nucleus. Okay, there is no nucleus in RBC when it is mature. All right, then its lifespan in an average is 120 days. 120 days. In an average, your RBC survives for 120 days. Okay, this is the lifespan of RBC. All right, and then what happens after 120 days, or when it is old or weak? Okay, this RBC are destroyed in the spleen, liver, and bone marrow again. Okay, in the liver, in the spleen, and even in the bone marrow, these weak and old RBCs are destroyed there. Okay, so after the death, this iron part is retained there in liver. Okay, then in the liver, if RBC is dead now, if the RBC is destroyed, then what happens is that your iron part, see your iron, this iron is retained in liver, whereas the other, that your protein, because as you all know that RBC is formed of, that your it contains iron, it contains even protein. Okay, so like that. So your iron is retained there in the liver, whereas the rest of the substances that you find in the composition of RBC, are excreted in the form of bile. In the form of bile pigment, that is bilirubin is there. Bilirubin. Okay, in the form of bilirubin. So that other substances that you find in the composition of RBC are excreted in the form of this bilirubin. Okay, in the form of bilirubin, which is also called bile pigment. All right. Then what happens is that in a normal adult, approximately 2 million RBC are destroyed in every second. In a normal, if I am a normal person, if I am a normal human being, then in every second, 2 million RBCs are destroyed. Okay, it's not that they are destroyed, the new ones will not be formed. No, it's not that. So once the old ones or the weak ones are dead or destroyed, the new ones will immediately be formed, because RBC being a cell, always the cell division is there to form the new one. So that it will go on. Okay, it will go on. So these are all about your RBC. Okay, so among the different cells of the blood, okay, means different cells of the blood, as I've told you, RBC, WBC, and platelets. So this is what we have discussed just now, is all about your RBC, okay, which is also called erythrocytes. All right, so today we'll do only this much, and we'll continue in the next session. Thank you very much.